just overall, we have entered this place in this world of the quote celebrity pastor. And what are your thoughts on the ideas and concepts of a celebrity pastor? I'm going to go to you first, Anthony, because you look like you are just all ready to go.
I I think it's funny because I used to work for an organization, a faith-based organizing organization that used to I don't know, they really thought like the faith community was the community. And I'm like, oh, that's so interesting. Like, do you know if I never worked here, I would have no idea what you guys do? Like, I have, like, talk about irrelevant. Like, come on, celebrity pastor to whom? To whom? Like, I get it. You're big in the Christian world. Your album went double myrrh. That's cool. But come on now. Like, I think it's a joke. I think it's a joke. I think that talk about propping yourself up and patting yourself on the back for doing your job essentially is kind of weird. And then I read like a article a couple of weeks back about like the Hillsong pastors, and I was like, damn. And what they were doing with their church and all the money they were raking in to like perpetuate that celebrity lifestyle.
Yes, that's why we're here. This is why we're here to talk about that.
And you know what? I have you to blame, Brenda, because I tell
you've already made me do a choke spit already. No, nobody knows because I muted myself, but you've already made me do a choke spit.
I blame you.
And we're gonna come back to the reference that did it, but please go on. Why do you have me?
I saw it. I blame you because I grew up in a church and whatever, but I didn't mean to cough like that. It just happened like that.
No, I was the whatever. I grew up in a whatever.
But like being a part of a church plant, I would go into these mega churches and I'd be like, what do you mean you have 7 different services and one is in Korean and that I can become part of your flag waving ministry? I'm over here shuffling out chairs out of the janitor's closet, and this is how you're living over here? Come on. That's crazy to me. It was always coming from that perspective. I always looked at these mega churches and these like pastors with larger than life statuses, and I'm like, damn, do you know how much good you could do if you genuinely, and I'm talking about genuinely, not pour money into a building, but pour money into the community.
That'll preach.
Oh, okay.
That's what frustrates me. So the celebrity pastor thing, I think, is a joke. I think it's like, at least in my perspective, I'm just like, come on now. Like, oh, you're big in the Christian world. That's great. That's great. Great. But come on, like there's more to the world than just that. And what are you doing with that celebrity status?
You opened a can of worms because literally what we stopped last week was when Josiah started to get on his little box and rant about that he could not see in his mind. He could not justify the idea of doing ministry. He looks at Jesus. He cannot justify the idea of doing ministry and making buku bucks off of doing ministry. Am I correct with that assessment, Josiah?
100%. Now more than last week.